Welcome to the Off Hours Pod with Beck and Kay.
Woo-woo.
I think I did it great. I think that was a great.
And on today's episode, we are featuring Dustin Lohman, iconic gaffer, iconic storyboarder, iconic videographer.
All the things.
Basically does literally anything and everything. Ultimate grip. Best
It's
boy,
giving multiple
as they
hats.
call.
Mad Hatter.
Is giving so many hats and is wearing a hat at this moment.
Thank you.
Oh, a beanie for everybody's knowledge.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's good to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
So today, let's start off with what is our favorite thing that we've watched in the past week? Dustin, you begin.
All right.
You begin.
Oh man. All right. So for some who don't know, I guess whoever doesn't know, I'm a huge animation junkie. I love animation. I want to start making my own animations here in the future. So my roommate Roy introduced me to this animated movie called Redline, and it is a frame by frame animated movie that's about an hour and a half long, and it made me cry at the very end. The storytelling, amazing. The animation was just beautiful. I want to just eat it up. It's so great. It's super crazy. It's like Mad Max, but in space? ?
Ooh. It's available on Tubi.
It is. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend.
Is that free?
It is.
Yes,
Tubi is free.
It's free. It says watch now. Free available, and there are a lot of reviews. It was from 2009.
Yeah.
Dustin, you are watching things from 2009. How does it make you feel?
Old, but also I missed that animation style. We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch it in Japanese or did you watch it in English?
We watched
just with subtitles.
Yeah, we watched the dub. The dub was pretty good. So just in English. But Roy also says the sub is amazing and highly recommends it as well. So
love it. Very sick.
Yeah.
Watch both.
Who's
stopping you?
Bruh.
Who's
No
stopping
you? Sometimes I watch things in French just for fun.
Ooh.
Watch things. Do you know French?
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Yeah, I'm fluent in French.
How did you miss
You're fluent in French?
I mean, look, here's the deal. I have a hard time saying that. That's what it says on my resume. But let me be very clear. I am conversationally fluent in French. I could go to France and I'd be fine. 99% of the time.
Take me to France.
I have a
That'd be so romantic.
certificate. I have a certificate somewhere. I don't remember where, but I passed a test for it. So, fluent in French and somewhat fluent in Spanish.
Let's go.
But anyway, so sometimes I just watch things in French because it's great practice. So if you ever want to start learning a language, just start watching things in that language.
I do have to agree with that. I also changed some of my video games to Spanish when I was in some Spanish classes since I knew the menus already in English. I was like, might as well.
I watched Fuller House in Spanish when I was in Spanish.
Yeah,
it didn't help me at all.
That's such a choice. Fuller House in Spanish.
It didn't help me in the slightest.
No. All right, Kev, what was your favorite thing this past week?
Oh my god, I didn't even prep an answer for this. What have I watched in the past week? I'm trying to rack my brain. Wait, I can pull up my Hulu and I can tell you what I recently watched. I did watch. Well, I've been watching Modern Family. That's just a side note. Really,
I love Modern Family. I
love Modern Family. But the recent thing that I watched, I started watching Handmaid's Tale. And I think I blocked out of my memory because I think I was traumatized. That's what happened.
Have you ever read it?
No. I only knew, I was told going into it that it was going to be hard to watch, a lot to watch. And so I put it off and I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And I tried to watch one episode and it was just hard. It was really difficult. And yeah, no, it was hard. Yeah, it was difficult.
So not your favorite thing.
Not.
So what's your actual favorite thing, Kev?
But it was well done. I guess so. It wasn't like my favorite, but it was well done.
What's your? It can be Modern Family.
Modern Family, I guess, but that just doesn't feel lame. Oh, I could tell you my favorite music that I've been listening to this past week, which is still art and entertainment. Renee Rapp, her new album is really good, and I'm obsessed. And she released the deluxe version, and the Everything to Everyone extended version. So she had a 30-second song, and she was like, "It's now a full song," and that was a gag to the world.
That's a slay.
So true. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee. She's the god. What about you, Rebecca?
My actual favorite thing that I watched this past week was my father and I watched Star Trek Picard's newest episode.
You and that damn Star Trek.
Still got my poster up. It was like the best episode of this season, and like I feel like this show has been really soft. First off, I love Patrick Stewart. Okay, I just can't handle him. He's just a sweet, sweet man that just is really good. And so, but I watched the newest episode, and like, it's been, the newer Star Trek shows have their ups and downs, just like the old ones do. But this was like a solid episode. Like my father was screaming at the TV, and I was like, "Dude,
dang,
calm down. I get it. It's good. I want to hear him." Now that we've completed that segment, that little fun bit, let's talk about you, Dustin. So, for those of you that don't know, Dustin loves something called storyboarding. Dustin, do you want to explain what storyboarding is?
Love storyboarding.
And how you found that love and all of that?
Of course, yeah. Man, where do I even start? I guess, as I mentioned earlier, I love animation. I loved comics growing up. I grew up with a giant box of comic books that my dad and my brother collected throughout the years, read through those. And storyboards really kind of like mimic some of that.
Yeah, they look like a comic strip.
Yeah. And so like the cool thing about storyboards is it's like a comic strip for a whole entire feature-length film or whatever video project that you're working on. You kind of get to create the shots, kind of like the lineups. Like you might have a shot sheet with like a certain shot, and you might just like tweak the angle a little bit because you're like, I think this would be a little better. And you get the thumbs up from the director and being like, yeah, man, that looks sick. And you're like, cool, that's my shot in that film. And you may only know, but it's still like, that's my shot, It's like, it's one of the coolest moments, especially seeing like something that you sketched out months, years prior to, and then see it on the screen like that.
Yeah, fun fact. So, I did cinematography for one film for 1901 Productions, Unlived, and Dustin saved me doing storyboards because I don't draw. And I'm not trained in drawing. And I'm not good at it. It's a skill that I'm very aware of is not my strong suit. And I said, Dusty Westy. I need
Dusty Westy.
And it was also convenient because Dustin was one of the directors. So it was like 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, yeah. It was a brilliant move.
Yeah. And hey, you started picking them up with like your shot cards too.
Yes, the shot cards. I keep on my camera.
For a couple of scenes.
Hey, but you know what? It helped get the vision across. Hey,
as long as someone understood them. My stick figures.
Yeah.
That's how I do storyboards, is with stick figures.
Yeah,
completely.
So, have you ever tried the electronic storyboards?
Like on my art tablet and stuff like that.
Like I've seen a lot of generators. Like you can generate storyboards, like digital storyboards. Charlie Queen did them for Mort, a film that Kevin
Oh,
worked on.
yeah,
If
he
you didn't know what
did.
Mort is, go check out Mort by
Check
Charlie
out
Queen.
more. It was iconic. It was fun. It was a zombie-filled
Comedy,
family
horror moment.
drama, comedy icon.
Anyway, so for Mort,
We're back.
Charlie Queen used this software basically that was a rendering software, and so he could like 3-dimensionally see the characters, so you could see like exactly how the shot will turn out. Like it was just
That's
like
sick.
it's a lot like animation. So
Yeah.
I don't know what software he used, but I thought that might be something that interested
We can
you.
look it up.
And then it was cool, like on the basic underscore expert page on Instagram, you could see
Heck yeah.
rendering versus the actual shot, and to see like that was like what? Like my stick figures came to life, but like those renderings came to life a little better. You know what I'm saying?
My stick figures came to life. They really did. They did. I love that though. Storyboarding is such a fun. Even in the magazine that we did for 1901 Productions, we got to show Dissociate and the way those shots. And honestly, those ones are so sick because those were literally just done in your journal, Dustin. Like your own personal journal. You were just like sketching them out, and then we're like, all right, now it's so awesome.
No, Dustin's storyboards are like really detailed and really cool.
It's super cool to kind of like how my brain works sometimes, because like Dissociate legit started out as like bubbles of just like a little trail going down a notebook page, and I just started drawing bits and parts of it, and then I started writing, and it was just kind of like I was like, yeah, man, I have this. I just like it was just in my head. I was like, man, I can't get this out of my head. Like I just see it. So I just like spit it all out.
Sick.
You know, it's just
so
like
it was a visual to written.
Right. Yeah. Because like a lot of times like, I'm very visual oriented. So when it comes to like putting stuff down on paper, like right now I'm writing a feature length script for a class, and I'm currently on page. I'm currently on page 17. Yeah, it's a little horror slasher film.
Are you in horror screenwriting?
No, I'm just in normal screenwriting actually.
Oh, okay. I also wrote a feature length horror screenwriting film, but yours is gonna be way.
Come on.
No self-deprecation.
I did all of mine, like literally half of the script in a day.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be me. I'm on page 17. I have sketched out the whole entire interior of the house, everybody's room, the hallway, what it looks like, what's in the hallway. I just don't have anything on paper. I went up to my professor and like, look what I have on like week 3, and they're like, cool, but you're supposed to be on page 27, and I'm like, nice, but look at my pretty pictures.
Right. Can we count these drawings as pages? Like, I think they should.
That's what I said.
You know,
I said no fully. Like, can't you just take it as like? That's what I mean. That's half the work.
Right. Exactly.
You did the detail. You did. I don't know.
The vision's there. The vision's there.
The vision is there. The vision's in your brain, and he wants it on word format, and maybe that's just not how it works.
How dare he?
That's just not how you do it.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. You like the sketch in your journal. That is how you do it. Nobody doesn't like you.
There's gonna be so much singing on this podcast.
It's an album.
I can already see it in the future.
Blue Hour Studios presents Off Hours, the
singing.
album.
So speaking of visuals, Dusty Westy, one of my favorite nicknames for you is Gaffy Gaffy.
Gaffy boy.
Gaffy.
Yeah.
Gaffer Gaff.
Where
is
Gaffer Gaff?
You know, I basically any iteration of Gaffer is one of my favorite nicknames for Dusty. And
they're really fun.
Did you want to break into how you got into Gaffer work?
Yeah.
And maybe your favorite scene you've ever lit?
Ooh, okay. Well, that one's gonna be hard. That one's gonna be tough. So originally,
Pulling out the big dog.
yeah. So originally I became gaffer because I first joined 1901 without any video knowledge or like anything under my belt. Besides just like recording stuff on my phone and being like, this looks cool. Don't know why it looks good, but it looks good, without any like perception of just like what I'm doing with it. So during the first few productions of that, I really didn't feel too comfortable taking like one of the big roles. But I took that time to really like, hey, you need help on audio, you need help setting up lights and stuff. I'll stick to kind of gaffing stuff. But it's more or less just like I wanted to put my hand towards everything, and gaffing just seemed like right up my alley. I love just like setting up lights, knowing all the equipment, being like the guy who's like, hey, we need this thingy. And I'm like, oh yeah, you need this, and it needs that cord and this thing to go with it. And yeah, I'll grab that in 2 seconds,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just super fun. And also you get to help the cinematographer light the scene as well. So it's just like you can set up a light and turn it slightly different and be like, hey, does this look good? And they're like, yeah, perfect. And I'm like, cool, sick, like I got
I
you.
was just
So,
gonna say that. Yeah,
yeah,
you have that opportunity to collaborate
yeah.
a lot, especially when you work in the lighting department, and it changes a scene and how it feels and how it flows. I just think that there's definitely a lot
Also,
of
like,
bridging in that
Yeah.
job.
maybe I'm like biased because A, I act, and B, I do video stuff. But like lighting's my favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
Like everything is cool, but like during Lost of Self, getting like laying in a bed and then having Zachary Cook light me for for an hour. I was like sitting and I was just watching like why is it so cool?
You were laying in a bed.
I'm standing outside the bathroom window that he's lighting, holding up a C-stand.
I always forget, but like you were just. I remember you outside for the Lost of Self shoots because you would be holding reflectors like right next to me. But like I forget because no one was in the room at the house except for like Saucin and Zach and Kev sitting in the corner. And then everyone else was like,
I would be hiding.
Right, and then I did the scene in the room, and then I left, and so I just like walked by, and I was like, I don't know who this person is, but I'm here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I have no idea who you are.
It's okay, I learned. What was your favorite scene that you've ever lit?
That I've helped light.
Yes. That
Man.
you've been gaffer or grip or cinematographer or some.
Yeah. I think honestly one of my favorite scenes was lighting your bedroom scene and Otto's. I just love that like undertone of blue and that like the pink. Oh man, it's just like it's just so like it's just such a sick shot. And then me just standing there with the diffuser, just like making sure it's like making sure the light doesn't hit you too.
That whole shoot.
Rebecca, so what's crazy is that scene in that show, you lighting that was like we didn't even know it was super early in the day, like literally early morning. I wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah, you were late to set, so that's number two.
You had me to light, so I made it extra difficult, and I do apologize.
There's that, but I mean, it was just stunning. It really was the best lighting, but multiple hats though. Oh, the anamorphic lens was so nice.
It was.
I was just gonna say, speaking of multiple hats, you did multiple hats on that set a lot, and yeah, so that was just
Dustin did all of the grunt work on that set.
Dustin, you really did do all the grunt work. You and Faith Anderson, who will be on this show at some point in the future.
Oh,
yeah. Faith is here by name.
Faith is here in soul. Faith is here literally by name. Faith is here by producing. She literally gave me her Zoom. So like, what about favorite movies about hats?
Favorite movies about hats?
Mm-hmm. There are.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I
got
don't
mine.
know them, but there are, so I'm asking you. Help me.
Cat in the Hat?
I would say, yeah. Cat in the
Oh
Hat.
my god, literally, how did I forget?
Are there other
With a
ones
good
where
old
hats are
Michael
featured?
Myers.
Is there
Hats.
anything about, like, baseball hats?
Well, if you want to go, like, 42
High school
down that
football.
rate.
What about, like... Oh, Mad Hatter. I already said that one.
Yeah.
That's a good
What about...
The new Batman, the Riddler didn't have a hat on. Though the Riddler didn't have his like themed purple outfit with cool top hat. Which is kind of sad.
So
Sherlock.
usually has a hat.
Yeah, he usually does. He usually does that.
Usually has a hat. Okay,
Sherlock.
got it.
Oh,
Sherlock.
The
Yeah.
deer hunting hat.
Classic. Classic.
Sick.
Sherlock and Watson.
Sherlock and Watson.
Shout out to Zach.
They never wear hats.
Awesome.
Not that you know of.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Zachary sent photos of them in hats.
I'm sure that it
I bet
That's
they
had to have happened.
Yeah, they would have.
Or I'm making it up for podcast sake because that's quality content. Cats and hats.
Cats and
hats.
And
Yeah,
I
can
did
we
play the
get
cat
some-
in a hat, everyone.
Can we get some cats and hats right
Pull up some
Cats and hats.
here?
If you
Insert.
aren't looking at cats and hats while you're listening to this, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You should be listening to this and scrolling through cats on your phone.
right. You always should be scrolling.
We should post some cat
Constantly.
pictures on To Do Blue Hour. The
Yeah.
Blue Hour
Definitely
cats.
should. Yeah.
Everybody's cats and just post them. That'd be such a good post, actually.
Or just Blue Hour pets in general.
Blue Hour pets in general.
Can I
Because
have
we have
my-
so many pets.
Can I have my chickens in the picture?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The chickens can be in the pictures.
The rabbits.
The rabbit? You have rabbits?
I have rabbits, chickens.
Can we put the Milliken squirrels?
The Millie squirrels. Yeah, I'll grab a few shots.
Grab a few shots, thanks. Yeah, no, that would be
Gotcha,
perfect.
gotcha. Special thanks.
Question, Dustin.
Yeah.
What is a movie that impacted you and made you want to be a filmmaker?
Ooh, that's a good
Not
question,
to,
Rebecca.
not to
Popping
turn
off
this
these good
from
questions.
Millie Squirrels,
Man.
but
That really was a twist on from
Yeah,
Millie Squirrels,
that
but we'll
was,
accept it.
That was. Man, what really got me into filmmaking? I like what cinema film. I don't know.
What's like a
was it
film that you
Titanic?
remember as a child that like you were like, that was a good one.
Man, I don't know. This is really like I don't really have like a pinpoint one. I just want to say all the movies because like growing up, I had like a brother that was 8 years older than me, or a half brother, I should say, and with my father. And they just loved sitting down and watching movies. So like we'd go rent like 5 movies from a store, just sit down for 10 hours on a weekend and just binge movies. So I feel like just like film in general has just always been like a big part of my life. And just like that kind of sounds cheesy, I guess, but like it was just like I grew up watching it, and then I tried my hand at interactive media coding. I was like I like coding.
Come on.
Yeah. Like that I tried that major out, didn't like it. Concentration. Tried digital design. I was like, man, just don't feel right here. And then finally switched to video production. I'm like, this makes sense. Like this just feels right. And yeah, it was just super cool making movies. And then I like the thought of one day just like looking back and just being like, I made this.
That's so true. That's what I think I love the most about film and why I really gravitated towards it as well, is because it was something that was stapled and pinpointed and done and printed, and you could always go back and always watch it, always enter that atmosphere. Whereas theater, such a different energy. Like it's gone the minute you wrap that show. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no.
It's ephemeral.
Excuse me?
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral?
It means it's temporary.
Uh-huh.
It's a fancy way of saying
I just learned a new word.
something is temporary. Let me look up the Google definition for you.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral. Ephemeral. ephemeral. Is that
words with Rebecca?
THOER ephemeral.
Anyways, it says according to Google, ephemeral is lasting for a very short time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
funny. There's a lot more to it, but that's the basic of it. It's like
I love words that
right.
An ephemeral thing is like, oh, I can't. You can see it, you can grab it, but you can't hold on to it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that's so funny. The definition is its meaning.
Is ephemeral, yeah. It's a very meta word. Anyway,
that's really funny.
Theater is super ephemeral though, and film is just not. Film is very like you can keep it. It's like a history book in some cases.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really is. We use it for documentaries and history and building that and
culture.
That's what art I think was originally made for, was really to teach lessons and to write history. I mean, literally looks like Shakespeare. Half of his, pieces were, history based.
Yeah. They were based on other works, or like language itself is basically we're just drawing the whole time.
Woo.
That's something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
Because like the if they're like hieroglyphics are so sick, they're drawing and that's their language, and I'm like, what do you think we're doing when we put pencil to paper? Like we've decided that these loops and lines mean something, and they do, but like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but we decided that as a society, as a human freaking culture.
Insane.
We're so weird.
Yeah, I thought of it. I was like just have these random thoughts about like how did we name this?
I do it all the time.
Like I guess I was playing I was playing World of Warcraft the other day, and I got a bow, and I was like, how did we think of the name bow? And I guess they just bent a piece of wood and wood like bows over time. And I'm like, makes sense, I guess. But like just like random like words throughout the day sometimes pop in my head. I'm like, where did we even come up with that? Ephemeral.
Yeah, for real.
It's ephemeral, right? I was like, excuse me.
Languages in film. If you guys could write something that plays with language, what would you do?
Plays with language?
I do poetry.
Oh.
I'm a poetry fiend. You all haven't experienced it as much because it kind of went away a little bit, but like I have like a collection of poetry on my phone from when I was in high school that I was planning to release as a short collection. And like poetry.
You should do it.
Yeah.
We should do it for Blue Hour.
It's gonna happen. I just don't know when it's gonna happen. But like that's my personal way of like writing. Like script writing is really tough for me because I'm a very metaphorical writer, and so to not be able to like put that in dialogue as much as I want to, like my characters would speak like in a way that I'd hate.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if either of you have read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
I don't think so.
So Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, and it's during the Romanticism period, and it's very like everything is too much. Like I hated reading it, and then I said, "Wait, Rebecca, you write like this," and I regretted everything for the rest of it. Like I write in this like very lavish, like metaphorical way, and I tried to write novels for a bit, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. So then I found poetry, and I was like, wait, I can put my metaphors in like a nice way, and it's not too much for people. It's like it's meant to be there instead of like, here I am just giving you words you don't need. Like it's not helping a plot or anything. And I also like I read a lot of Rupi Kaur, and like to have images paired with poetry is like my ultimate like. I melt for that stuff. Yeah. It is just so good, and it connects so well to the human existence. Anyway.
Yeah. Man, what would I do with language? I would love to travel and do journalism. I always see like clips of people like going around. Like, I follow this one guy that went to all the outer states of America and asked 1,000 people life advice, and just
The
like
outer
they're
states.
Powerful.
and then took pictures on like this old film camera and documented them.
Ooh.
And I'm like, this is just super sick. Bro got on the news like the other week with it. And it's just like,
We
man,
love news coverage.
yeah, I just kind of want to, I don't know, I'd love to just travel around and just like go out of the country and just like, record people, learn a bunch of different languages and just like,
Yeah.
ask them like, hey man, how, what do you do? How's life? Just kind of
You
stuff like
should
that.
watch. There's a YouTube channel called Indigo Traveler, and it's this guy going around the world to different places. He spent a lot of time in Ukraine during the war and talked with people there. But he goes to places, and they're not necessarily like touristy places, but he goes to places, and he gets a translator wherever he goes if he can't speak the language, and so he really integrates himself instead of like, oh, let me see what this culture is like, but really you're just eating the food and like.
I want to live. I want to live in the culture. I want to be part of it.
So
yeah.
That's a good person to like watch. He does a lot of cool stuff, and it's all charity based and donation based. So
I miss the guy on Vice. He would travel around and do like hardcore like internships and like different rallies and different places where stuff was going on.
Vice is my favorite news.
I would love to. Vice, if you're listening.
Vice, I don't believe they are.
Vice, we will tag you in this.
We'll tag
Please.
you in this.
We love you.
Yeah. Hey, if you need a videographer, editor, I got you.
Investigative journalism for the win.
But yeah, no, I think that'd be like the rawest form of videography that I could capture.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do it.
Literally.
Yeah. I'm here for it. I love that idea.
What about you?
I don't know. I was really just waiting for you guys to answer that question. I have no idea what okay, wait. I guess I would love to mesh poetry into a film with dance and kind of all these other aspects and have it be very meta, I guess, or very I don't know, immersive in all of that and like the different. I don't know. I feel like I'm just making things up at this point, but yeah, like something just really crazy, something weird. Like I want people to be like, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. Something that would make people just go like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
Kind of like not to be like this, but like everybody. Like that play.
I loved it.
So good, but also like.
Kev's talking about Everybody by Brandon Jacobs Jenkins. For anyone who has not read Everybody by Brandon Jacobs Jenkins or seen a show of it, maybe try to see the show. It's a lot, and it's great,
really good,
and it'll break you in so many ways.
Oh my gosh, just the actors that played those roles in it are insane. Like they have to be so well rounded. Talk about wearing multiple hats. I mean, that is such a great. Such a great example of wearing multiple hats. And I hope we get to have somebody on like from one of those shows that was in that show to talk about kind of like how that felt. Honestly, could you imagine doing something like that for film?
That'd be
like
cool.
Meshing that, like, because it's so immersive and it's so meant for theater.
Yeah.
So like, I love thinking about different things like that. That's so fun to me.
Plus, the lighting for that show was epic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it was. The lighting in that theater is just stunning. The lighting in the theater when they did Romeo and Juliet during the death scene.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, they die.
Gasp.
Never gets old, Kev. Never gets old.
What can I say? I'm a comedian. I've done improv.
I've done improv. Yeah, no, it's black box theaters are great for that. That's why black box theaters exist, because it's so much more freedom when it comes to like all the creative behind the scenes stuff, which I love. Dustin,
Wait, I have a song to end. I have a song ready. We're gonna end every show with a song.
Can I thank Dustin?
Well, I have to give a song before we think. This is like the song.
This
Okay.
is pre-finish.
This is the pre-finish. Okay. We end every episode with a song from Kev. Okay. Thank you for being here, and we're all four together again. So welcome, Rebecca and Dustin, to the end of the podcast. It's the end.
Wow. There were like
You
so many
applause.
songs that I thought that you were about to sing, and then you didn't sing any of them.
That's
No,
nice.
it's made up by me.
Yeah.
My brain is kind
Copyright.
of freaking out. Right.
It's an original.
Trademark.
Anyway, thank you, Kev, for that, and thank you, Dustin, for joining us today.
Oh,
Thank you, Dustin.
We do love having
appreciate
you here.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing all of your insights and your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's wonderful seeing.
Every time.
Oh, it's wonderful seeing your beautiful faces again. I miss y'all so much. Oh, I can't wait to be on another set with you guys. I can't wait.
The United States of America is too large of a country. Can I just say that?
It is a very large country. I have driven it.
Yes, correct.
That's true.
You've driven half of it, but yes.
But I did it twice, so that means.
Technically.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I mean, it's
nice to see you all, despite the distance between us.
I love you guys so very much.
And make sure to tune in next time to the
next week.
Hours pod with Kev. Oh shoot, I messed up our own title.
Do that one more time. Take it back.
Yeah. Take it back now, y'all. Yeah.
Make sure to tune in next time to the Off Hours pod with Beck and Kev.
Woo!
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.